Okay, so we're going to be playing a game here, 1850 versus 1850, some practice for Origins. I'm going to be buying some Grey Knights soon, just because I want to paint them up. So I kind of want playing an army that I want to play when I start collecting them, versus Steve's Origins list, which is probably actually one of the things that would kill my list the best. So it's going to be really interesting. Do you want to go ahead and go through what you got in your army here?
The Siding Box of Doom.
Oh, knows.
Alright, so what we have here is we have 3 squads of Paladins. Each one has 2 side cannons and a hammer in it. The rest are all halberds. We have Caldor Drago back here leading the force. Gonna kill some more Grey Knights over here. They're heretics. And they can't be corrupted. There's something in the warp possessing their minds.
That says the guy from the warp.
Yeah. Well, remember, Trials of Drago. People, if you ever seen it, or if you haven't, watch it again. Alright, they got a squad of Space Marine Scouts back here, because I allied everything in. Space Marine Lysander, I believe, is his name.
Yeah.
And then a squad of Terminators from Space Marine Codex as well. 3 Thunderhammer Storm Shields and 2 Lightning Claws.
Alrighty, so that's the 1850. It's kind of like Paladins Plus. With Lysander and Drago in the same army is just disgusting.
Yeah, for reference, this is actually 1840, so I have 10 points to play around with. I haven't figured out what to put in with yet.
Alrighty, maybe a missile launcher and scouts, see how they do.
Maybe.
Alrighty, so over here, this is my Grey Knight list. Was this the first or second time I played Grey Knights, maybe?
First I know of.
I think this might be the first time. 4 Cybolt ammunition Razorbacks, so Cybacks with heavy bolters, with the 4-3 Acolyte squads doing that whole bullshit crap. Codiez, because he could take Divination now, I'm assuming, so if you guys know whether or not that's accurate, I think he can, so tell me if it can't, but I think he can take Divination. Cyphelman Dread, a Rhino for a 10-man strike squad with all sorts of upgrades, like 1 warding stave, 2 side cannons, a few halberds, a few hammers, that kind of thing. And then 10 interceptors, same kind of loadout with the 1 warding stave, 2 side cannons, all that jazz. And then lastly, 2 decked out Dread Knights, and these are like, they've got the sword, they've got personal teleporters, they have a heavy incinerator, and the heavy side cannon, both of them do, so they're like 300 points a pop.
You are allowed to take Divination. It's specified in the spell book.
Fantastic. So he's going to be like running with like these guys right here, and he's going to be like, I'm going to help you shoot better, twin linking all their shit. So that's hopefully how that's going to go. And on our board here, we've got pretty much same board as the last game if you watched it. Sorry about the last game. It was like I was zoomed way too much in, so I'm going to try to not do that this time. And we're doing hammer and anvil, so we're going to be deploying in these big sections here on either side, which is probably the best thing that could happen for my army in this case. So,
alright guys, one thing we did forget is each of us are using a Vindicare Assassin.
Yes.
We just had one on the table for laughs earlier.
Yeah, so we were literally both using Vindicare, so we'll find out which one's the true Vindicare. Or maybe they're, just, they're friends and they're having a friendly bet about who's going to kill more Grey Knights. That's pretty much it. It is the Scouring, I think it's called. So my fast attack interceptors are scoring, but at the same time, we're not doing the weird thing though with all of the
point modifiers.
Right. So everything all the objectives worth different amount of points is just stupid and annoying. So we're not doing that part of it. So they'll all just be worth 3 points a pop. And but at the same time, my interceptors are worth an extra point if he kills them, which he probably will. So we'll see if I can get that extra 3 points, or if I lose an extra point. But that's pretty much it. And do you want to roll to see who gets to deploy first? Oh no, he's got a 1. I got a 4. See if it's cocked. See if it's cocked. It is. Reroll it. 3.
Yep.
I still win.
Still better than 1.
Alrighty. Alright, so we've got our armies deployed. We've got objectives out. Do you want to go ahead and go through what's in your army over here, where all your stuff's at?
Oh, it's murder, death, kill, so I think it pretty much explains for itself.
Murder, death, kill does explain itself pretty well. Yeah.
Alright, so what happened over here, I wasn't quite sure where to go with the deployment because he has such a large army he can spread out. I have a small specialist army. I decided Caldor Drago is going to go over here with a squad of Paladins. Put 2 more back over here. And the scout squad up here, they infiltrated up 6 inches. Only needed to really move about 3 inches.
Okay.
Actually, he scouted, but yeah. And the Vindicare Assassin infiltrated up here. And I'm going to have a few issues first turn, even though I'm right on a couple objectives already. Got to knock out his Vindicare Assassin over here. Going to help you out a little bit here. Vindicare Assassin, by his own rule, can actually shoot off Caldor Drago's shield and get rid of my emerald save for the entire game if he gets really lucky.
Right. The only thing that's rough about that is I could even shoot off his Terminator armor or his shield or both, but he has to fail his lookout, sir, because he can simply pass it off to the guy behind him.
Exactly.
So not as useful as it used to be, but it's still a nice chance.
Right. So that's why I put the Vindicare Assassin over here, because I'm thinking we're going to have an Assassin versus a Snipe Out Assassin fight here. Otherwise, we're just going to be losing units all over the board. And once these vehicles get closer to me, I'm just going to be doing 46, get through that armor.
Yeah. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Over on my side, I as you saw, I won the role to go first and deploy first, but I made him deploy first because he's got a smaller army, so I can kind of work around it better that way. So we got my interceptors here, Justicar in the back, side cannons about in front of him, Cyphelman Dread behind them. I realized my list was actually it's 9 strike squad guys with 1 side cannon because I'm riding Codiaz with them. That's why I have Codiaz. So Codiaz is riding in this Rhino with them, and then I've got Razorback, 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 and then Dread Knight, and for the objectives we use all these things here. So sensor towers an objective, guns 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 an objective. So
I didn't pay attention. Did you say you the roundage?
Oh yeah, no. For these ones, we're just using this whole base and everything. For these turret ones, these legs don't count. We're just counting this circle itself. So, and then in reserve, deep strike. I think he said Lysander with the Terminators are going to be deep striking in. So, that's pretty much it. We're just going to do our quick battle assessment logs before the game starts, and we'll get going.
Grey Knights, brought to you by Kellogg's. Not really, just Cowboy Drago killing everything. He just really likes Kellogg's. Alright, so what we're going to have here is going to have to unfortunately march up across the field. He's easily got me in range by 12 inches almost everything. His heavy bolters, all his special weapons are basically 36-inch range. And I'm dealing with a pretty much an average and a maximum of 24 inches except for the Vindicare Assassin. So I'm going to have to be foot slugging for a while, and my initial strategy is I'm going to have to ignore the infantry at first because I'm pretty much just knock out all those wounds they do to me, and I'm gonna have to try and knock out these rhinos. Get all this crap, what are they called? Get all these henchmen out of the rhinos. Try and keep them from taking objectives, and hopefully, if I get lucky with any good explosion results, I can kill them before they start hiding behind terrain. If they get back there and start hiding behind terrain, then I'm pretty much screwed because I'm gonna have to start shooting additional units. And being only squads of 3, they're pretty easy to hide back there. Main thing I'm going to have to worry about is essentially the Dread Knights. If they shun up in front of me the first turn, I'm going to have a little bit of trouble with that. Hopefully I can get some force weapons off on them, going first with Initiative 6 halberds. If all else fails, I got hammers in the squads. Nice side cannon overwatching. But still he has a 2+ armor save, which I can only ignore with the hammers, thanks to new 6th edition rules. Essentially, going to be looking for 4s to hit Dread Knights. I believe they're weapon skill 5, and 6s to wound. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Pretty sure I can do it, though. Got enough paladins here, enough hammer hands. Well, I can't really waste hammer hands, or else I can't activate force weapon status. But I'm going to put a lot of faith in some scouts here and say they're going to be popping a lot of things from the first turn. Go Scouts! Yeah, otherwise I'm going to be taking Lysander and his squad of Terminators on the board. When they come in, I'm really just planning to kind of put them over here in this little plot of land. And from there, I'm hoping to either mosh pit him there and take out whatever I can. Basically, I have no shooting that turn. I'm going to be counting everything on melee. If he piles himself in an area, makes a little bubble for himself, he's not going to be safe. Because 2+ armor save, I'm going to be saving most of it. I can put a lot of wounds on Lysander if I really need to worry about anyone else. He's strength 10 base, so I'm really not worried about anything. Hammers and all, they'll do their job. Either that, or if he gets up too close and I can't deal with the Dread Knights, they're going to be deep striking right next to them. And if I keep them tied up for a turn, Lysander's going to be joining in the assault and just hammering them to frickin' death. So otherwise, we're just going to be having a nice Vindicare versus Vindicare assault over here, or shooting attack. And let's see if we can reenact some sniping fights here. Otherwise, I'm just going to take Vindicares trying to pop shot rhinos when they get too close. I'm pretty much going to be ignoring the Dread Knights if I can, if they stay far enough away. Otherwise, I will have to start pot shotting the Dread Knights. Haven't played this army in a long time. But yeah, I'm gonna try and avoid that till the last moment and see what I can do.
Okay, so here's the game plan. I'm really worried about all these paladins. Obviously, paladins are really good. My army is amazing at murdering Necrons and anything with power armor. So, kind of not in the best situation here with this many paladins and Lysander and Drago in the same list, and Lysander deep striking in later. Not going to be good. The one thing I do have going for me is, if I remember, I can keep casting Warp Quake with my Strike Squad. That'll at least keep his Terminators a little bit farther back when they're coming in. The big thing, though, these guys aren't going to be doing much other than shooting. Getting in combat with the Paladins is going to be murder, unless I've got them down to 1 or 2 models, because I do have 2 hammers in there, and I've got Hammer Hand. Cody is obviously going to keep making this squad twin link, that kind of a thing, especially once they get out of the Rhino. These guys are just going to keep. They've got the big blast, this rending. I can hope for the best with that. I've got the flamer, the torrent flamer, basically. So I've got a lot of good things that can just pile on wounds, but I don't have much that can straight out just kill paladin. So I'm gonna have to be hoping that he fails a few saves from this. I'm gonna be just pumping tons of heavy bolter shots and storm bolter shots into them. But these guys, my hope is that I can seize the initiative. I gave him first turn because I need to see where he deployed. That was more important than anything. But I'm hoping I can seize the initiative, jump these guys up, and I can just destroy this squad to get first blood and everything else to try to kill the Vindicator. Then my Vindicator will be safe for pretty much the whole game, so I can focus on shooting off his armor and everything with everyone else. So that's pretty much my game plan. I need to seize. If I don't seize, at the very least, I need to not give up first blood. If I don't give up first blood, I can come back and try to wipe all these out. The only problem is it's night fighting first turn, so he's going to have really good saves with both of those units. So that's pretty much the only thing I even sort of have that resembles a plan at all. So that's about it. If I can wipe them out, and then maybe pick off one squad at a time, fire my entire 3/4 of an army over here, one squad at a time. I'm hoping that I can whittle them down enough that they're useless once they get closer. So that's all I got. So going to the game.